today we're going to be working on marquee design that Angel needs. So I got everything I need right here. This is something I found on Google, something I just Googled. It isn't official, so this isn't it, but it's a guide of sorts that I'm going to be using. I got the Sega logo that I cleaned up before, and then this right here is our template. This is our frame. It's our label we don't need, and our copyrights. And this was from the last project that I used, which was Fast and the Furious. This is the official image, and this is what we're going to be using. There's many different ways to do it. I'm going to just show you how I would do it. For this, we're going to go to image size. It's already at 300, so we're going to stretch it up 4 inches, I think it is, because I'm not sure what the size for Arcade 1-Up is. I'll take this over. It's about close to it. That's fine. Hit Control T, Shift, and stretch it. And we can get away with bringing it in some. That's fine. All right, so our base color is going to be, it's off red. It's almost orange. So we're going to make our base layer that it's not going to be black. We're going to get this little gradient here. And I'm not going to use a gradient tool just because you're not going to get the same effect. Because if you notice, it's not as orange or as yellow up here as it is in here. So to me, what this looks like is we're going to sample the color, bring the brush down, around right there. And then we're going to start right about here. We're going to hold shift and drag it about right there. Give it about 3 passes, right? And then on another layer, do the same thing, bring the brush down, right about there. Hold it, shift, 3 passes. That's what it looks like to me. So without the guide layer, this is what it looks like. Now to give it that faded look, because it doesn't look as hard as this does. So click on our layer, go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and we're gonna do it at about 135. Same thing for the second layer. Now it looks a little bit closer. We're just gonna drop this one in there. And we're gonna scale it down. So Control T, hold shift, drag it up. Doesn't have to be exact. Just close to it, because I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do. Yeah, we can stretch this one out just to get the other. I'm gonna show you what this layer is for. So this is our base alien logo. So Control T, hold shift, scale it down. All right, let's scale it down some more. Now notice that this doesn't have the trademark logo up at the top. That's okay, we don't need it for right now. Down there, bring it down. Bring it in. Bring it in some. All right. Right about there. And that looks good. I'm gonna copy each letter, separate them. So this is the N. You don't have to do this. This is just being extra so I can show you how to do it if you needed to do it in the future. So what you do is, this is the letter A, right? You're gonna drag this over on top of this A. And the N is on top of this one. So everything in between don't matter. So you're gonna go shift. It's already highlighted the N, highlight the A. And then you're gonna go up here, and this will give you precise division between the objects. There you go. It needs to be a little bit Actually, let me see. What's the problem here? Bring it down some, up some, this way some. And I think we can cut that much of. Oh, wait, we need the color. Hold on. Need the green and the white. And so you can unclick that layer. Go back, go to gradient overlay. And it's going to be in basics. Here we go. And we're going to click reflected. And that gets you closer to what we need. Except the problem is here, if you look, it's at an angle. So you want to go here and click 0. No, sorry, 90. There we go. And that looks a lot closer to the image we need. So all we need now is the stroke on it. And throw the same stroke back on. There we go. Hit T to bring up the text. I'm going to type in TM for trademark. And then in here, go to Myriad and find the closest one that I think will be suitable, which is usually this one, 35. Control T, hold shift, bring it in. Right there. We're gonna add the same gradient that this part had. But we're gonna throw the stroke on it on the outside. I'm gonna reduce it down to 5, maybe 7. And the gradient just kind of has to match where it's at. So bring this down right about here. That's gonna be your guide. Right there. That looks better. So we're gonna start with the easy stuff. Go with the copyright. So I have here a layer that says copyright. So we're gonna click on it. Gonna pop up in the middle, drag it over, and put it on top so you can see what you're doing. And this is gonna be the Arial font, narrow bold. That's the one I like to use. And then to get these symbols, you go to Windows, Character Map, click OK. I'm gonna bring this up. So we're gonna use the copyright, and because they don't have a trademark, we're gonna leave a space and then fill it in later. Just click the copyright logo, select copy. Go back to your text. Let's do 2 spaces, 1, 2, and then Control V for the copyright logo. 1, 2, 3, 1993. I'm gonna go ahead and add another space here. So the actual font needs to be black, and it has a small stroke of the same orange for the background. We're gonna leave it as is, like the size of it. So we're gonna make it black. Let's click on that. Click enter, and then the stroke, we're gonna copy it off the background, not the one from the original picture. We're gonna copy it from this one, so it could closer resemble that. We gotta put the trademark in here. So you can Control J, and we're gonna write with capital letters TM. Highlight that. We're gonna make it about a 3. That looks damn good. All right. So our trademark is done. Or copyright, I'm sorry. Copyright. And as I said, we're gonna start with the easy stuff first. Because this has a bow on it, if you look, I'm pretty sure it has a bow. Bring this down. Maybe not. Let me see. I guess not. It just looks like that. All right, well, we're gonna leave that there because that looks on point. So we're gonna bring this one down. This one might have a bow on it. Yeah, this one has a bow on it. All right. It curves. So, oh, it actually does curve over here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave it around there, drag it, and it should snap to the guideline. And we're going to click new layer, and it can just be white for right now. All right. I'm going to turn this down some. All right. And right here, you want a new layer. And this is what I was saying. Okay. So for the spaces, this is how you get that. So we're going to go about from here to here and bring it straight down. Make it white. Control I to invert it. And then we're going to drag it to about there. And now you have the exact gap that you need to go on your white layer. See? There you go. And we're going to turn the opacity down on the white just so you can see through it, see where you need to put the gaps. Control J. Move it over. Control J, another one. Right about there. And Control J for another. And to make sure that everything's spaced out evenly, we're going to do what I told you earlier. Control, or actually, you can hit Shift from gap copy 3 to the first one, and then space it out. And now it's evenly spaced. All right, so we can turn that off and this back on. To get the dip that goes right here is very simple. Go back to the original gap, make another copy, drag it underneath. I'm gonna drag it over. Drag it as close to the original as possible. And then from there, you can go back to the original. And it's not gonna matter where you put it. You can put it anywhere from here to here and then cut it. Reduce the opacity. So we're gonna go here, here, and drag this down to the line right there. We're gonna hold Shift, drag it across, and that's gonna give you a perfect line from here to here. So this is over it. Just make selection, delete. And now you have the perfect first half of the design. Right, now that you've done all that, bring the opacity back up, and this fourth copy of the gap, Control I, and it's gonna make it white, and this is gonna go with the solid line, merge it. Now, these other gaps, highlight those, merge those. Click W for your sampling tool. Click one. It should highlight them all, and if it doesn't, unclick this. If it's like this, unclick it, and it'll click all of them. And then go back to your white copy, hit mask, Control I to invert it, and now you have the actual pattern or shape you were looking for. And to duplicate it, hit Control J, hit M to bring up the selection tool, re-transform, flip horizontal, drag, and now you have perfect shape that you needed. Go to gap 5, merge down, and now you have the whole entire shape. So I need to bring this up, and we're gonna add the stroke on it. So open up the effects tab, stroke. Outside, we're gonna go to center, make it black. We're gonna go about 20. That looks a little much, way too thick. So we're gonna go back to 10. All right, let's add a shadow to it. Let's see what that looks like. We're gonna bring it straight up and down. So you hit Shift, pull this up. That looks a lot better. Go down to the effects tab, gradient overlay, go to basics, right? And we're gonna change the colors from, it looks a little dark, so we're gonna make it brighter because you gotta account for the fact that a lot of these images get double printed, so you don't want them too dark. If anything, maybe there. right? And then white. You're not comfortable with that white, you can bring it down to like a mid gray, very light gray. Mid gray would be too dark. Let me see. Yeah, it's too dark. So very light gray. Actually, because the letters here don't look white, they look a little gray. I'm gonna bring it down to about there. So there we go. That looks closer to what we're looking for. All right, and we're gonna bring this back down. So what we're gonna do is go to the OG, make a copy, bring it up, make another copy, and close down the group. All right, so in OG, go to filter, and I have these plugins from Topaz. Topaz Detail, it brings out the accent of whatever you're trying to do. So if you look here, I have a custom preset by a guy named Noise who does tutorials on YouTube. Works pretty good. Check it out. So it makes the detail pop out, and that's going to give us a better design to work with to put on our work. That's what we're going to run with. So now we take the color out of this, make the blue white, green white, yellow white. That's what we have to work with. And I think that looks a lot better than what we were doing. So we're going to bring this down. We're going to put linear burn. And with the frame back on and the OG removed, this is what we're left with. So now we have to go back and make sure that all of this is erased. So what we're going to do is, see. Multiply looks better, I think. Let me see. Yeah, multiply looks better. We're going to run multiply. But we still have to delete all this other crap that we don't need. So we're going to go ahead and do that now with the pen tool. And we're going to speed ramp it just to get through it. Looks damn good. For what it is, that looks damn good. That one looks good too. So now we're gonna add the color back in. Back to multiply. So now it's starting to come together. We're gonna start with an all white layer. That looks good. That's it. That should tie everything together. This is the end. And so for this tutorial, we're gonna do it in baby blue just so I can see it. All right, and over here, we're gonna do the same thing. And then we're gonna change it back to black. And now that it's all black, we're gonna rasterize it. And then take the OG copy out, bring it out underneath everything. Let me see. Change these back to normal. And normal. And then this, what I would do with this, let's see. You can merge them. All right, so now that they're merged, we're gonna mask out the area that we don't need. There we go. And then we're gonna go back to make this dissolve right around here. Right? We're gonna hit it with about that much. I'm gonna copy it. And now we can make this multiply. We're gonna bring it down a little bit. Right around there. It's supposed to be like a off gray. Like that. And so what I like to do, tie everything together. I'm not gonna do it to the Sega logo, but I'm gonna do it to everything else. And it's copyright. So you duplicate everything. Right? Now this is duplicate. You throw the copyright and the Sega logo back on. So go to pixelate, color halftone, bring it down to 4. Bring this down to overlay. Bring this down to 25. That looks perfect. And so now all that detail doesn't look as bad. So the fades don't look bad. You see the detail on it. See the logo on it. You see the color on it. Looks pretty good. And that's it. So now we have the original, which, yes, again, this is a lot higher detail than what I have here, but considering this is our source, this doesn't look bad. It doesn't look half bad at all. All right, guys, that's going to be it for me on this one. Let me know if we did better or worse than the original shot that we started with. as well as what type of designs you would like to see in the future and what you would have done different. Throw that down in the comment section. I'll make sure to read it and get back to you. So then, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch y'all next time.